Good morning, YouTube. It's everybody's favorite security guard with all 4 of my subscribers. So today I'm coming at you with security guard top 10 cons. So my first video was the pros of being a guard, and these are my top 10 cons of being a guard. So number 1 on the list is long hours. You know, as a security guard, sometimes people get too little hours. In the case of me, I've noticed that my hours have been cut, and for me, this job is all about getting as many hours as I can so I can get to that 2,000 hour point and start my own company. But having said that, I hear stories from guards all the time who are getting 12 to 16, 17 hours a day. So, you know, it can have some really long hours. Coupled with the fact that you are bored, it could seem like it's forever. Number 2, violence. You know, we're not exactly cops here, but sometimes you may find yourself doing cop duties. We are prone to violence. People tend to test our authority or challenge us. There was a shooting yesterday of a guard, unfortunately, actually within my company. It doesn't happen all the time, but it does happen. Hence the reason why I wear a vest. Some people may think it's excessive, but I wouldn't be wearing this if I was working at Walmart. Trust me. So it can be a violent job. You're definitely, as a guard, going to find yourself in situations if you're working for any length of time. So just know that it is not exactly the safest job ever. Number 3, holidays. As a guard, I've already worked in this year, I believe it's 4 major holidays, including Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's. There's got to be one more. But you know, it's a given, man. You're gonna work holidays. Guarding something is a 24-hour-a-day service for most places. You know, being a security guard, security doesn't sleep. The criminals don't take a break, and neither do we. So you can expect to work holidays, which, again, other jobs have these difficulties that we do as well. So this isn't just exclusive to being a security guard, but you can't expect it, is what I'm saying. Let's see here. Number 4, working alone. You know, that could be one of the most difficult parts of this job. Unless you're a reclusive person, you will definitely find yourself alone a lot. The post that I'm at today, because it's a Saturday, I'll be here again tomorrow. I can guarantee you, probably today, I will not see a single human being other than the guard that will relieve me later. I'm not going to see a single person here for the next 8 hours. So, you know, I'll take this time to go within myself, think about things in life, watch videos, etc. But given all of that, I'm still by myself. You know, it would be like saying, oh, well, you know, you've got a video game system at home to entertain you, but if you don't have an actual person to play against, you know, it could really be difficult. So being alone as a guard, it's just something you have to get used to. It's, you know, there's people that work graveyard shift, and my hat's off to them. They really are in a difficult position. Not only do they not see anybody, but it's just pitch dark outside, so they don't see anything. They don't get to see the environment, and they don't get to interact with people. Number 5 is pay. Oh, I mean, that's a whole topic in itself. Actually, I think I have a video where I talk about pay, but security guards generally don't get paid much at all. If anything, they're probably going to be at minimum wage. That's almost a guarantee. And what can I say, man? It's not a difficult job per se. I mean, there's moments where we should be getting paid a lot. As far as the post I'm on today, what I'm getting paid, I really do deserve it. All I'm doing is sitting down all day. I can't really expect much to go on. But there are days where I go to other posts where I feel like I'm a police officer. I mean, the encounters that I have require such patience and resistance to losing your temper with some of these folks, and the fear of actually being killed. I mean, and then you reflect and say, man, I'm not getting paid enough for this. But then you have to sit there and think, well, there are days where I am doing a post and I'm practically doing nothing and still getting paid. So it sort of balances itself out. But the pay as a security guard, typically not good. In California, I can tell you right now, the pay that myself and most other of my guys are making, well, they're not my guys, it's not my company, but you get it. The other guards that are what they're making, it's not livable wage in California by any means. Most people, including myself, have a second job. So going back to those long hours, man, I mean, here I am working an 8-hour shift, and then right after this, I go do another job to make ends meet. So the pay is horrible. Number 6, work times. This is different from long hours. When I say work times, I mean, you don't know if you're going to be working a swing shift today or a graveyard shift. I mean, they do give you a schedule in advance, but this week I'm doing from 7 to 3, and then in a couple of days from now, I'll be working from 3 to midnight. On Valentine's Day, I'm going to be working from 1 a.m. till, I think, 9 in the morning. So you can, it's not consistent. Don't expect to work just swing shifts or day shifts. They might throw in a few graveyard shifts. So your work times are not going to be consistent unless you're with a company that has a set schedule. But my company and other folks I talk to, their companies as well, tend to not have consistent schedules. So you're going to find yourself all over the place, which would be difficult for somebody that's, trying to have some sort of pattern in life. But, it is what it is. Number 7, I believe, a uniform. Now, some people might like putting on a uniform. In my case, I put it on because it's protection. It's also a deterrent. But at the same time, a uniform is a uniform. They suck. I'd rather have everyday clothes on so I can feel comfortable. But now for the next 8 hours, I have to wear this vest. It could be hot outside, and I've got this shirt on and this shirt under it, and I've got to wear my black pants and black boots. And, when I get home and I take all this stuff off, it feels so good. And the fact that it feels good when I take it off means that this is a con, because I'm not happy with it on. I sure wish it was a job where I can be in my PJs all day. That would be a job suited for a home business. But in the case of this job, you just, you got to put your uniform on. It's also timely. I mean, I spend roughly 15 minutes. One day I'll make a video on putting on my uniform, and you'll see that I'm telling the truth. 15 minutes putting this on, maybe 5 minutes taking it off because I hang everything up. But, you spend 20 minutes a day fussing around with your uniform. You don't get paid for that, obviously. And if, a supervisor comes, which they did 2 days ago, man, I put my uniform on every single day. 2 days ago, one of my supervisors came by. I just came back from a funeral. I was stuck in traffic. I was at a funeral, coming home, and I expected, okay, I'll give myself an hour to get home. It took me almost an hour and 45 minutes to get onto my job post. So instead of having these black pants on, I had black jeans, which actually looked really good. But that night, a supervisor just so happened to come by and do a uniform check. And oh man, I was pissed off. And then they called me out on my pants and, those are jeans. So they wrote me up for that. And then I had a boss call me out on it. Like, hey, I heard you wore jeans. And then late last night, I got a text message. Hey, I heard you didn't have your uniform. In the future, maybe carry a spare. Oh man, it was a hassle. But again, these uniforms can be a burden. At the same time, it could be a pro in a sense that people may respect you, or or look at you as a go-to person if something happens. So they have their pros, but again, this video is about cons. So uniform can be a con. Number 8, unappreciative people. There's a lot of people out there, and when I say a lot, I would say the majority, that actually look down on security guards. I can't tell you how many times I've been called a rent-a-cop, or I'll be very nice to somebody and say, hey sir, you really can't park right there. It's a fire zone. And they'll be like, well, what are you gonna do? You're just a security guard or whatever, rent-a-cop, get out of here. So you got a lot of people that are very unappreciative. It's crazy because I would actually give my life up to save somebody else's life, regardless of the pay of this job and the dignity I may get. I would literally, if there was a shootout, I would put myself in that position to save the population. Yet there's a sense of unappreciation for me because I am just a security guard. I can sit here and argue all day about it, but we're not too far off from cops. Again, sometimes we do police work, but we don't get the recognition for it. So, that's one of the big cons of being a guard, is just the unappreciativeness of people. And it does eat at you sometimes, and it downright can irritate you. Your pay doesn't reflect what you do. People look down on you. Sometimes folks think I'm a cop. I don't try to pretend I'm a cop. I never tell people I'm a cop. I don't ever try to abuse this very little power that I have. But the people that do think I'm a cop may give me a little bit more respect, and then they see that I have a security badge, and they're like, oh, you're just a security guard. I've actually been to restaurants. When I say restaurants, I mean like Chick-fil-A or places like that, and they'll say, oh, we give a officer discount for meals. And I'm like, oh, great. And then they start to ring me up, and they go, oh, actually, you're just a security guard. Sorry, we don't give discounts to security guards. So, that kind of hits you. You're like, wow, thank you. Number 9, no growth. In the security industry, there's really no growth for no room for growth. I could come to work every day on time, have my uniform on, do a great job, write great reports, and guess what? At the end of the day, I'm going to still be a security guard. What are they going to promote me to? I see some guards, they get promoted to like lieutenant or captain, and it's kind of ridiculous to me. I'm like, wow, you're a captain, but you're still working at the same place, making the same wage, getting the same amount of respect from your colleagues and the public. So what does that title do for you? Other than you walk around with a new label that says captain on your shirt or vest, it does absolutely nothing. There really is no growth in this field. Now, some people are going to argue and say, well, yeah, there is, and give me examples. And I get that, you can move up to an administrative part of a security company, but in your typical security company, you're going to find that people are going to say, oh, I've been a guard for 20 years, and you ask them, well, what has changed? And they're going to say, well, nothing. I'm still, I've been here 20 years. I'm still a guard. Sorry, guys, my video cut off. That's always been a nightmare of mine, that it would run out of room, in which case it did. But as I was saying, the lack of growth in a company really sucks. You could get a job at Walmart, right? At Walmart, you could be a cashier, work your way up to, let's say, electronics, and then from electronics become a department manager, and then a store manager, corporate. You don't have these kind of opportunities in a security company. A security company, it basically just you're limited to being a guard. Again, I've talked to guards that have been in this industry for 20 years, and they're just still doing the same thing. Of course, they've probably gotten a few pay raises, but it doesn't quantify the amount of work and time that they put into that job. And number 10, breaks. You know, this could be a really tough one. A lot of times, depending on what post you're on, you don't have any break rooms. I mean, the place that I'm at today and for the next few weeks, we have a really nice break room. And I've got a microwave and a refrigerator and things like that. But I've been on construction sites where there's, I can't leave the post, right? So I'm not able to go out and take a break and drive down the street and to McDonald's or wherever and buy food. I'm not in a position to heat up my food because these construction sites have no microwaves or electricity. So I'm basically subjected to eat whatever I have in my car. And, you know, it's probably going to be a cold sandwich, which, you know, it sucks if you're looking forward to a hot breakfast and all you have is a sandwich. You get it, man. So the lack of having actual break or a break room to go to, or even being able to go somewhere for lunch can sometimes not be an option when you're a security guard. So anyways, thank you guys. Man, this sun is just killing me. So I apologize. Thank you for hanging in there. Sorry about the running out of room on my phone as I'm recording. In the future, I'm going to make sure I have more space on my phone. Man, these videos sure do eat up a lot of space. So thanks again. If you have any questions, certainly feel free to ask, comment, subscribe. You know the routine. But most importantly, just be safe out there. Thank you.